Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is noun phrase 201. The noun phrase today is unintended consequences. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. An unintended consequence means a final result that was unplanned and unforeseen. The suggestion is one did not see it coming. So when somebody did this, they never imagined that it could lead to this result. Then we could say that is an unintended consequence. All right, let's continue. The origin of this term dates back to the 18th century. It was coined by Adam Smith in his writings. Here is the quote that explains what he meant. Now, nowadays, when we use unintended consequences, most of them tend to be negative, like we did something and we never expected it to lead to this negative thing. Ironically, the original one was that the unintended consequences actually ended up being a good thing, not a bad thing. So let's look at what he's writing about here. He's actually writing about economics, and he's writing about the way that economics is set up, or capitalist society is set up. People will tend to try to search out the best price and the best quality, and because they do this, usually it ends up in a good way, because it usually ends up that those sellers or merchants who can sell for the best price and the best quality, the natural forces bring the prices actually down. Okay, and that works out best for all the people and all of society. So let's take a look at what he has as his quote here. Every individual, meaning every person, neither intends to promote, so meaning the individual really isn't doing this to help society. Neither intends to promote or, to push or to encourage public interest. So he's not doing it for the public. He's not doing it for everybody else. Nor know how much he is promoting it. Yeah, by the way he is naturally behaving, trying to search out the best price and the best quality, and therefore, those sellers that can't provide that, they'll either fail or go out of business, or, due to competition, they will improve by either, offering better quality merchandise at a better price. He only intends his own security. So the person who's buying it, the consumer, is really just interested in his own benefit, his own security. And by directing that industry, by his behavior of the way he searches out prices, in such a manner, in such a way, as it produce maybe its greatest value. So it just, because he behaves this way, it ends up, with the best situation. He intends only his own gain. So again, he's repeating this idea. He wasn't really doing it for the better of society, to help the common man. He was really doing it for his own interests. He is in this, as in many other cases, led by an invisible hand to promote an end which was in no part of his intentions. Yeah. So in his writings, he mentioned about unintended consequences, but that's what he means. It wasn't of his intention. So he didn't intend for this to happen. All right, the invisible hand, I don't know, a few people have ideas about what he means by this. I don't know, maybe he means the natural forces of, capitalism and searching. Maybe that's the invisible hand, or maybe God has something to do with it. I don't know. There's a few theories out there. A few people have ideas, but this is still part of the quote. All right, let's continue here. The term was later popularized in the mid-1900s by sociologist Robert K. Menton. All right, yeah, and he used it probably more the way we use it today, because a lot of times we do things into either the government or some other organizations. They try to change things and move things. Sometimes there's a lot of unintended consequences. They meant for something good to happen, but they weren't careful enough, and maybe it led to some bad things happening. All right, so let's look at the first example. It kind of explains it. The sociologist Menton used his analysis that many deliberate acts meant to cause social change has often led to unintended consequences. So you tried to do these things probably to improve the society, or what you thought was better or right for people, but sometimes it ended up backfiring, or it ended up having results that you weren't expecting that weren't good. All right, let's continue. All right, let's look at the second example here. Some commentators claim that all the lockdowns due to the virus around the world may have unintended consequences. The suicide rate has skyrocketed due to many businesses going bankrupt. All right, this is a couple of different ways. Maybe the businessmen themselves. A lot of people built up businesses. It took them 10 years, 20 years to build it up. And some of them are completely going bankrupt now and losing it. And sometimes they just can't handle that. Or if not that, maybe they find themselves suddenly poorer, causing all kinds of family troubles. Maybe marriages are breaking up. There's a lot of bad things actually happening due to all these lockdowns. Okay. And doctors, I've also seen this, and doctors claim delayed screenings and treatment for other diseases may lead to more deaths, maybe even more deaths than is, presently happening with this virus, because people are not going to the hospital to be screened, to be checked. Like if somebody actually has cancer, maybe you won't find it early. It'll end up advancing more and more because nobody wants to go to the hospital because of this virus that's out there right now. Or maybe some people, there's some signs that there's a problem, but they want to avoid the hospital. And, maybe they should be being checked out. This could lead to other serious problems with people's health and maybe cause some deaths. Okay. So, plus all the money printing, because of these businesses, there's a lot of stimulus around the world. All this money printing and continuous closure could lead to a worldwide economic collapse. If nothing else, it's definitely leading to inflation. Prices are going up all over the place. So this is going to hurt people too, because, you're spending money. Your buying power is going to go down. So again, these are more unintended consequences from all these lockdowns, basically. So, sometimes we do have a phrase in English. We sometimes say that, sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. This is the first time that we ever really had a lot of lockdowns due to viruses, especially when we, didn't allow healthy people to go out, especially worldwide like this. Anyway, let's continue. And we have number 3 here. The famous proverb, which I did a video on, you could look that one up. This is a good one. The famous proverb, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, really kind of means the same thing here. It suggests that sometimes things originally meant to help often lead to unintended consequences. And the suggestion here is they may lead to negative ones, worse ones than you thought, you were trying to solve the problem. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope, all these examples help to clarify, what this term actually means. Anyway, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.